Hello everyone and welcome to FTB Interactions Remastered, episode 22. Today we've got other stuff to be doing, mostly fixing stuff from last episode, which was a big mess. Maybe AE2. Will I actually commit to my promise of AE2? We'll see. I want to because honestly, without AE2, this is becoming a little bit too painful for me. I am back from being on holiday, so I can't quite remember what we were doing just before. I think it had something to do with the turbines and making rotor blades. Oh yes, that's on, so that hurts. That's a shame because I can't remember. Tungsten carbide, that must be what that's made of. So I need to make 4 more of those. We have already filled one of the battery buffers over here, which is good. I don't know if I've already shown this like 2 seconds ago or not. It's been like 3 weeks for me. And if I come back to my island, that's not what it is. It's N for north. If it's C for central. If I come back here, you see this is what I've wrote on the list of things to do next. However, I failed to remember that I could probably do with an AE2 system, hence all the very large amount of chests. We did kill the Gaia Guardian. I think that was so we could get, not for red matter, but to just get this ready for the Aurelia artifact. We still need ULV for this, I think, so, I mean, that's still a little bit of a way off, and I think we should really get into AE2, to be quite honest. I keep saying it. I've said it for ages. But I think it would probably be a good idea. So what do we need? Well, first we probably should make the, what are they called? The processors? We should probably make some processors. So that's just an LV assembler, which is very easy. So we just need a Skystone lens, I think. I'll bookmark all of these. I'll make a few stacks of these. I think that's a good start. I don't think I have any pure Certus quartz, so we'll need to make these seeds and get some glowstone for that. That's easy enough, so let's get started. However, before we begin AE2, I thought I would try out the Astral Miner thing again to see if it works, and for some reason now it started working. I haven't done anything different. I've redone the setup. We've got all our combustion engines back and we're getting all the power that we need, though actually it's not over here, so I need to get a couple more thingy-mabobs, but it should really be fine if I don't put power into all of them. So we should be doing fine. We're getting stuff now. Dense iron ore, dense tin ore, obsidian, glowstone, blocks of skystone, which is what I wanted, cobblestone, that sort of thing. So yeah, now I'm glad this is working because I really needed it to work. So we'll see how this goes. I've just connected it. I did make a quick ender tank. Took a little bit of time just to connect the fuel up to here because it was easier than having anything else. I don't think, is this chunk loaded? It is chunk loaded, so that should be all good. We're not, I mean, the fuel production's not great still, but I mean, these are all full. These are only tiny, in a small pipe, so it shouldn't take too much of a drain on our fuel system. But yeah, and this is working now, which will make our lives a lot easier. So I've absolutely no idea why it didn't work before, but it's working now. We're getting these crystal blocks, which we can then use to make the crystal shards, which give us the actually additions crystals. We'll be getting, I mean, the ores are nice as well. We've got this stuff, which gives us indium, you know, so this will just be beneficial. So I'm glad this is working now. I didn't know why it didn't before. And I wanted to try this again because we need the skystone literally right now, so that's perfect. We also get city marble, that's interesting. I think, yeah, these are pulling fast enough, so it's not a problem. I think it's just coming from the singular output hatch. I think, yeah, we're safe to just leave this running, and yeah, that's all good. So to make all of our printed circuits, we need to put a skystone block into a cutting machine, and that will give us a skystone lens. Okay, it doesn't give the lens, it gives the plate, but if we put that in a lathe, which I think we've got a lathe up here, maybe not. No, we'll have a lathe somewhere or other because I always need a better lathe. Well, we have an MV lathe over here. I think that's enough. Yeah, there we go. So that'll cut into the lens. I wish I'd seen that before because that takes a minute, but that's fine. I've also just set up some phosphorus doped monocrystalline silicon balls. This was our aluminium blast finish, but I thought I'd just take over it for a bit and make some monocrystalline silicon balls. I mean, to be fair, we could use the blast finish over here. Maybe that would have been a better idea because this one's not being used for anything. It's already HV. It just would need some MV combustion and generators and mechanical coils actually to upgrade this because it's on the steel, steam power, which was never very good. So if I convert those out, we could probably put it in there instead, but whatever. Another thing we're going to need is the pure Certus quartz crystals, which, I mean, the best way it seems in this pack to craft it is through the phytogenic insulator. That's fine, we've already got one of them set up. These are just sand and Certus quartz like normal. We just need a bit more glowstone because, as always, we're running out. And now I can fly. We can actually gather it much more easily than we could before, so this shouldn't be a problem. And now with some sand and the Certus dust, we can make ourselves some Certus quartz seeds. And I made quite a lot because who knows how many we'll need. We like to be prepared for AE2. And with the phytogenic insulator, I should get a couple of chests to do auto input and output if I can. I think I can. Auto output. Yeah, I'll put a couple of chests on. We can make ourselves some pure Certus quartz crystals really easily, actually. I've also recently been informed there's a much better way to make dense ores, and that's by putting liquid starlight in a chemical bath, and every 20 millibuckets, which really isn't very much, will make us one dense ore. I assume it's 20 for everything. It's definitely 20 for diamonds. We need diamonds because we need to make is it the engineering that's diamonds? Yes. And because we get dust otherwise, I've decided to put some of our purified ore into a sifter. It's an EV sifter, so we should get a high chance of diamonds. It's an extra 10% per tier from LV, I think, so this will help us get a few more diamonds. I do need to put an input on this though, because I didn't realise really how much purified diamond ore I'd end up with in the end. Now, some of the recipes have been changed for lots of things for this, obviously. That's how these packs work. But I'm not quite sure how many of these things we need. Obviously, the engineer process is good for this. What are the storage drives? Let's do 16k because I remember that one. So that's titanium, quartz glass, that's fine. And 4k. 4k is stainless steel and quartz glass, and 1k is logic processors. So the gold ones are probably the most useful then. Storage. The calculation one's used for all of the co-processors for auto crafting, so that one is probably rather useful as well. And I think we'll need less of the engineering processes. It's used to make the ME controller, and it is used to make something else that was useful. Can't remember what it was. The pattern provider, I suppose. So I think we should be alright, to be honest. With a stack of each. That's probably overkill. I don't know how to make the crafting units. That's even more easy. I guess we'll need to make some more stellar alloy, but it's not really, shouldn't be too bad. It's not too processor heavy, so I'll make a stack of each and see how that goes. We probably want more of the gold ones for storage, so once I have some more phosphorus doped wafers, which I think we should have, I'll make a bunch more of those. Oh, we have loads of these. I didn't know we had so many of these. Why am I making so many more? Well, I'll take another 20, maybe 32 and get them into, where is it? This. I'll turn these into more printed silicon wafer and we can make some more gold. And to actually be able to make the processes, we need a little bit of hydrochloric acid, and we can just chuck these in and it should work. I'm just using the EV assembler. It's not necessary, but it's just the only one that doesn't have anything in it, so it's just easier that way. And we've got plenty of hydrochloric acid, so this should be completely fine. Now, while we're making processors, we also need to think about how we're going to make our ME controller, and that is done like a compact machine. So we'll need 4 miniaturization field projectors, which are fairly easy to make at this point. We need 4 personal shrinking devices because of this. And the only thing I'm missing is some iron plates, which is easy, and some screens, which just need me to make some fine electron wire. And that just needs to go in an assembler, and there we go, machine base. And now we can have 4 personal shrinking devices, which don't stack, of course. And I think we've got enough for this. We should be able to make ourselves the... Oh wait, I need a few more diamond plates. They're just in here. 4 more should do it. And this should give us 4 miniaturization fields. Oh, we only needed 1 shrinking device. Oh well, whatever. I've got 4 now. I didn't realise it didn't get used up. The stellar alloy shouldn't actually be too bad apart from having to wait for it to cook, because I forgot that it doesn't actually need nether stars. So we should be able to do that quite easily. Okay, so we should have everything to make a bit of... stellar alloy. What am I missing? Infinity dust, stardust, fluix dust, and crushed black quartz. Energized glowstone in a mixer. Why isn't it working? Absolutely no idea why it wasn't working. I just put everything back in again and it works now, so who knows? I somehow managed to miss that the engineering processor actually helps make the P2P, so that was a bit silly, but we should really have enough for now. Quartz fibers in this pack are also a bit different. We need to have Certus quartz rods, which I'm just making, and liquid glass. It's a shame that the liquid glass doesn't do 100 millibuckets per glass, but that's fine. We'll live. We should have plenty of glass anyway. I've apparently run out of stainless steel again, so I've had to do a bit of a chromite mining session. Hopefully now that we can chemical bath things, it shouldn't be such a big issue. I've also been chemical bathing the pyrolusite, which will give us manganese. It's a bit of a pain to do it like this. I should probably set up a better automation, but it's fine for now. I think I've probably smelted a bit too much manganese up, but that's alright. I'm sure we'll use it for other things. This is taking absolutely ages. Well, hopefully this will make enough stainless steel dust for now. And after a long time we can finally power up our stainless steel blast furnace again, woohoo. And after a rather annoying mini tangent, I can combine quartz fibres with Bluix dust, and that will produce us our first bits of ME cable, which is very nice. I should also probably check if there's any quests for all of this stuff, which there probably is, but I haven't looked. Okay, well it appears that the Bluix cable will unlock the AE2 part of the quest book, so we won't miss out on too much, hopefully. And here is our first ME cable, which will give us a bit of a smart cable. So now we can start getting into things, controllers. Ooh, ME beams. Well, that's quite useful. An AE2 bridge. That combines your LP network, but I don't think I want that. And there's a few other bits. The start of laziness. We can do AE2 pattern lazy thing. Yes. Mass assembler is probably a good idea. I had a good time with that, and then we need to make... Yep, so I think we're pretty close to everything we want. So far, this is everything I have to make 9 ME controllers. And don't ask me why I'm making 9. I saw someone use 9. I'm going to try and figure it out after I have them, but we'll see. So we need 3 more things. We need a crafting monitor. Well, 2 per, so 18 crafting monitors, 18 energy acceptors, and 18 energy cells. I don't think any of this should be too difficult, so... Oh, that gives you 6 at a time anyway. I'll have to make a few extra anyway, just to store some AE2 power and make sure the system never goes down. So let's see how this goes. Change of plans. We need to up our power system, which is probably going to be alright because we have just made a lot of stainless steel, so that should all not be a big problem. I'm also waiting on stellar alloy for the AE2 stuff, so we've got time to spare. We might as well try and do this. So what I want to do is first upgrade the diesel to infused nitro diesel, and to start with that we need to make cetane boosted diesel, and to do that we need to make tetronitromethane, which I've said before, I'm pretty sure. And that's quite a simple recipe. It's just nitric acid and methyl acetate, and it makes us 1,000 tetronitromethane, water and some carbon dust. To get nitric acid we just need a large chemical reactor with oxygen, hydrogen and nitrogen gas, nice and easy. And to make methyl acetate we need to distill wood vinegar. We're already making wood vinegar, we've got a fair bit already, so that's really helpful. When we distill wood vinegar, however, we only get 10 methyl acetate, which isn't really very much. However, 2 other byproducts of the distillation, the acetic acid and the methanol, combine to make methyl acetate, which is obviously what we want. We are actually making a bit more methanol than acetic acid, so that's fine, but if we want to make some more acetic acid, it is just a combination of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. And luckily for us, when we make the tetronitromethane we get a byproduct of 5 carbon dust. I'm not quite sure if it's a closed loop, it's probably not, but that is pretty useful. So we should be able to make up a little sort of looped setup with this to be able to make our tetronitromethane. We don't really need that much overall. It's 20 per 1,000 litres to make the cetane boosted diesel, and then it's mostly just liquid starlight and lithium. I'm pretty sure we've got plenty of lithium. I think it was from electrolyzing clay or something. Yes, so we've got tons of lithium. That won't be a problem, so we should really start working on that. Additionally, I need to do the let me go down and show you. If we go down here, well obviously I need to make some more turbines for these things. I still haven't got around to doing that yet because I'm lazy. And I went on holiday and forgot about it. We need to sort this out. There is literally like a massive problem over here. We are not doing this fast enough. I upgraded the HV. It's obviously still not fast enough to fill both. Yeah, so we're filling this and we're getting the empowered canola seeds. This isn't round robining. I'm pretty sure it was before, mind you, so that's a bit confusing. Oh no, we don't need the... I shouldn't have done that. I was meant to put the normal canola seeds in there. So yeah, we're kind of running out of stuff, which isn't great, and also doing that was not a good idea. But hopefully stuff starts going into here soon and we can actually get some some power going. We got a bit of empowered oil, I suppose, but not enough really to fill all the distilleries. Definitely not enough to have any sort of backlog. So I need to work on that with much urgency and just like expand this and have like loads of, I mean, I think the mineral chickens are probably fine, but just more centrifuges, just more of everything. This really needs to be sorted out as well. I don't think this is gonna last much longer, so we'll need more light wells, a better liquid starlight production, definitely. Now we've got ender tanks, it shouldn't be too much of an issue because I can then move the liquid starlight from like the sky instead, because having it down here in this hole, just a hole in the ceiling, is really not very efficient. So please, future Snock, make a list appear on screen. We have 4 objectives: to move the liquid starlight and liquid nightmare production and use ender tanks, increase all the machines used for making diesel to HV and also make loads of them, make a dedicated system for making nitric acid with a LCR, and finally distill wood vinegar, ferrocetic acid, etc. So let's see what we can do in the rest of this episode. Sorry about the tangents. I just have no idea quite what direction to take things in at the moment. Well, after a long time making things, I'm a little bit confused because it seems that actually we have now got enough diesel somehow. Not quite sure how that happened. I mean, I do need to upgrade the system. Advanced chemical bath. Why are you empty? Oh, because this is full again. I see. Oh, that makes carbon dust as well. That's interesting. Well, we should really improve this at some point. But yeah, we're actually doing alright on diesel again somehow. And after what was seemingly a pointless tangent, we should be able to make ourselves some of the crafting units. We need to make the crafting monitors for the controller, and I'm making a few extra as well, just because we will actually be using these for other things. For example, the co-processing units and the crafting storage. So it's beneficial for us to actually make a fair few. Apologies for all the tangents. I promise things will get a bit more settled after we have AE2 set up and the EV power sorted out a bit more, but just bear with me for now. One of the things I need is an illuminated panel. Well, actually we need 18 of these so that we can make the 18 crafting monitors. And you know what I did? Instead of just making 18 quartz glass, I made about 16 stacks of quartz glass. I'm sure that'll last us a while. I'm sure it'll come in handy. But this is why everything takes me so long. And after a while, 18 storage monitors and 18 crafting monitors, which I can put in this chest like so. Here's all the machines I made for making better power, which I now won't need. Whoops. Well, I will need them, but just not right now. Ignore the crafting table mess, but that should get us all the energy cells we need, plus 6 more that we can use to actually store some of the energy in. I've got way too much stuff in here and nowhere to put any of it. And this is getting full. That's fine. So now we just need the energy acceptors, which we should have everything for. Right, so this, if I'm not mistaken, should be 18 energy acceptors. We could even have made a few more, and that's not what it is. That should be everything, I think, that we need to be able to make our 9 controllers plus 9 of these, which we have. Oh, I don't know why they make a sandy noise. Ta-da! So now I just need to set up the projectors. I can't remember if these need power, so we'll have to see. As this is a big milestone, let's do the first one together. It doesn't need power, so that's good. So we need to have, oh goodness gracious, this is not going to be as easy as it could be. So these need to go in all the corners. We are going to have a little ME cable line down the middle, like so. We can probably do a loop with it. I think that's how it goes, with the block of that stuff in the middle, and those are both the energy cells on either side, like that. Next layer we have the 2 energy acceptors, I think, on top of this, and then the crafting monitor on top of this. I know I can copy this with a copy paste gadget. I think I've got a copy paste gadget actually. Maybe we'll go grab that in a second. And then this loops. Okay, there's one. These go like this This goes here, and that should be one ME thingy-mabob. I'll go get the copy-paste gadget so we can make it again. I can't find it, so let's just make this. There, it worked. That was the correct sign. Well, that's not going to be too hard for me to make again. And, oh, did I get some cable back? I got all the cable back. Oh, that's nice. And there we go. We did it. Our first ME controller. So now I just need to make all the rest of them. Now I have all the ingredients, we can chuck all of these in and we should be able to make ourselves a nice ME drive. And I've also powered up our controller, so I've just actually put a combustion generator and a converter with the fluid, the fuel tank on top of it to just provide power, and that connects to the bottom one with a couple of quartz fibers. So apparently this will double the amount of P2Ps you can have. So if we had a P2P wire P2P, that would be 2 channels, but by having a controller in the middle, it means it only takes up 1 channel, therefore meaning that the cable can take double the amount of P2Ps that it could before, which sounds very handy. So that's what I've gone for with this design. And by that, I'm copying someone and then needed someone else to explain it. So big smart on my part. But there we go. We're starting AE2. I told you we'd do it at some point, and I wish I hadn't put it off so long, because now we're going to have to go into a big rabbit hole of passiving a lot of things, which means we'll probably need quite a lot of interfaces, which are skystone plates, conversion modules, and whatever that is. We need to get diploid, a nether star lens, and I feel like we'll only need one of these. I think we have one, so that's fine. Do you need to make this? That should be fine. These are just storage monitors, which I don't know why we have to keep making them, and annihilation and formation cores, which is just that with a skystone lens and that with a skystone lens. So that's all should be fine. It'll be good when we can start passiving everything as well. And after a bit of waiting, we now have 8 ME drives, and as well as 24 more P2P tunnels. I've put some on already. We'll also need a memory card. I better remember that. That's cheap, that's fine. So I think I'm going to go for 4K ME storage components. That seems fine, so we're going to go for that. We also will need some copper cable at MV to make the 1Ks. I'm going to make 3 stacks of that. That might be excessive, probably excessive. That's fine, I don't care. And then we can turn them into 4K, which is pretty cheap as well. I've decided to put some ME drives over here. We do have a P2P connection, this one. So I've made a few extra memory cards as well. I'll just stuff these in here for now. So we're using 8 channels so far. Let's see if I can actually remember sort of how this goes. So yeah, that's only 1 channel used so far of the 8 P2P ones that we have. I don't know if this will work how I want it to work, if this is actually useful or redundant, but we'll see. I suppose not, because we've got 8 on here and we've only got the one that's connected, so I don't know, we'll see. While I'm waiting on a bit of cable to be able to actually make our storage drives, we can make ourselves a ME terminal. And actually we're going to make 2 ME terminals. One will be made into a crafting, well, both will be made into crafting terminals, and one will be further advanced into a pattern terminal. I will make the interface terminal at some point. We do need an interface for that. We don't have one right now. So I'll need to figure out, I'll make a bunch of these at some point soon as well. So this should be 2 crafting terminals. Lovely stuff. And nice and easily, if I just combine one of them with a engineering processor, we get ourselves a pattern terminal. So now we just need some storage and to connect everything up, and we should have at least the basic AE system sorted out. I'm still waiting on a few copper cable, but for now, here are our first 1K ME storage components, which I think is a quest. I wonder if they give me more ME storage components for doing the quest. Oh, they give me an 1K ME storage cell. That's very nice. I'm making the 4K ones because I feel like I've got lots of types of items, and I know I've got quite a lot of some of them, but I think it's probably better to go for the types rather than the large ones. So yeah, just because of how the types works, I'll go for that. I need to collect some of these quest rewards. Oh yeah, I got 7 ME controllers from this quest, which is silly because I shouldn't have made so many. But whatever, it's always good to have more. Okay, so we're also going to need some crafting things to be going on. So I'm going to make maybe 4 CPUs. No, let's go for 6. 6 CPUs, which is all the rest of them. And I think I'll make them 16K. So we'll have to, once I've made the stack of 4K, we'll 8 times 3, 24 of them will go towards crafting, and the rest will be for storage. So 40 storage disks. Well, technically it's 41. Should be fine. I can't remember what they're called. 4K, these. Okay, I can just make them like that, or I can make some storage housing. Okay, well that's fairly cheap, so that won't be a problem. And here are our first 4K ME storage components. And actually by making the 16K one, we do get a free 16K drive, which is very nice of the Quest. I mean, it's not that much really, but since we're not actually making any 16K drives for storage, it's still quite nice. And now we can take some titanium foil and some quartz glass, and we'll be able to get our 16, there we go, 16K ME storage cells. And using some PTFE, we can make our 16K crafting storages, which I think that should be good enough for now, 6 CPUs. And now I can make myself some 4K storage cells. I don't know why I have to double click it. Obviously, it's just having a bit of trouble with the thing being full, but that's fine. I'm sure it doesn't matter. If I do this, will it? Yeah, there we go. Not as big an issue now. And there we go. We have one side of the drives fully filled and 3 on the other. We have space for more drives. We should have enough space for all our items, finally. So that'll be nice to clear up some of the chest monsters that have accumulated. So now I'm just going to connect up the AE2 line, or whatever it is, the ME cable, to here, up here, so that we can have our crafting terminal and our pattern terminal all sorted out. And that should be everything connected. So now we can do our favorite thing of chucking absolutely everything, well, mostly everything, into our AE terminals from our many chests. Also, the chest that I just left on the floor, I did just break one and leave it lying about. So I'm going to put everything in here, apart from the bag, obviously I can't do that. And I'll probably leave the time in a bottle out just so I don't lose the time. Yeah, and time to check everything in. Well, that took about an hour and a half, I think, to move everything over, including all of the ores and also all of the output chests I had for my machines. Let's see, we have a lot of ores and other things that I probably shouldn't have in here. But yeah, now everything's moved over to the AE system, which is amazing progress, to be quite honest. So really what I want is an interface. Just a normal one will do. So I need to figure out how to make these. So it seems to be skystone plates, conversion monitors, and these, which I don't really know what any of that is. So the plan I want anyway is to make a stack of interfaces. So do we have a nether star lens? Thought we did. That's a skystone lens. Is it over here by any chance? No. So we don't have a nether star lens, I think. So we need to make that. However, luckily for me, we did actually have some nether star plates, so I should be able to make the lens super easily, which is lucky for me. And with our nether star lens, we can stick it in here with, not that, no, not in the precision laser engraver, but instead in the alloy smelter. Yes, there we go. Oh, does it consume the lens? Oh, that's so mean. That's so mean. I'm also going to need myself an energetic infuser to be able to make our energized polylattice isometric crystals. Maybe misguidedly, I used all of my nether star lenses and we got 36 crystals, which means 36 interfaces. Hopefully that's enough. I wanted a stack, but apparently not. We've also got some formation and annihilation cores for free just because of the quest rewards. So I will go and get some of the red crystals and the blue crystals and start pulverizing them as well so that we can get some more of those. And a little bit of maceration later, I can use the palace and the redstonia crystals to make our annihilation and formation cores, which is honestly one of the weirdest ways I've ever made one of these before, to be quite honest. I should now have everything that we need to create our 36. It's on circuit 13. Yes, there we go. I don't quite have enough skystone plates, but they're crafting. And there we go, our first ME interface. Now, why is that not a quest? No. Apparently, it doesn't care about normal interfaces, just fluid ones. Lovely. How kind of it. Rude. Oh well, it would have only have given me a ME interface anyway. What's the dual interface? That's expensive. I assume this is, yeah, that's really expensive. I don't care about that right now. But yay, interfaces! Woohoo! Now we can have some auto-crafting and some passiving of things, finally. And there we have it, 36 ME interfaces. And hopefully, if we're efficient, we should have them for a very long time. And now that we have finally set up an AE system and I have the ability to begin auto crafting, I think it's a good time to end today's episode. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.